The opinions expressed by the host and guest on this program are solely their own and do not represent the views or opinions of Blind United. We strive to provide diverse perspectives and discussions on our platform, but the opinions expressed should be understood as personal viewpoints and not reflective of Blind United as an organization.
Let's get ready to rumble! Y'all ready for this?
Well, good Tuesday morning, everybody. Welcome to another Coffee Time with Blind United. Of course, I'm Ed, and I just heard somebody pop into the studio. I don't know who it is yet, but good Taco Tuesday to everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. Let me see who this is. Well, we got Kel. Good morning, Kel. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How about yourself this morning?
I'm good. Thank you for joining me.
Yes, sir.
Help me through this stuff. So,
I jumped in a little late.
That's all good. I'm just, hey, like you say, you're right on time. So, anyway, we have one interest group for today, and actually, it's kind of our kickback day where we just get together and hang out and talk time at Tuesday talk time. We do that once a month, get together. I mean, I love people to show up and, maybe number one, I love the interaction, the camaraderie that we get from that group. But at the same time, people have the opportunity there to, to ask, suggest things they would like to see, things that, maybe we're not doing that we could be doing, all kind of different things. So that's what that's all about. But we noticed over the couple of years we've been doing this that just people want to hang out sometimes. We hang out sometimes after the groups, after we do our training or whatever. I mean, you've hung out with us a few times, Carol. We sometimes be on there longer than we actually were on the group.
Definitely. And it's always fun. We laughing, we're conversating. It's just like a little party.
But anyway, it's just another opportunity to get out, and with the intention of, just hanging out and chatting. So join us tonight at 6:00 Pacific time on that. And then, hey, we'll go from there. So how's your morning, Carol? You good?
So far, I am pretty good. Yes. Just
Okay.
sitting around waiting on my yard guy to come through and, mow this grass and just, doing life things.
Man, I'm getting ready to get rid of my grass.
Are
I'm
you?
serious.
What'd you get?
Yeah.
Artificial turf?
No, I'm actually going to go with pavers, but I'm going to create a pattern, Carol, where you have like 2-foot pavers, 2-foot square,
Okay.
and then you got like 2 inches of grass between them.
Wow.
And then you create that checkerboard pattern in your yard.
Right. Of course.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. Okay.
I mean, you can walk through there with a weed eater, whatever.
And be done with it.
and be done with it. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have all the sprinkler systems, you know what I'm saying, and all that
Right.
anymore.
Right.
All of that, gardens knocking them sprinkler heads off because they still stuck up and they too lazy to push them back down.
Right. Well,
So
unfortunately, I don't have automatic sprinklers. I have to get out there with the hose, and I know my neighbors. They're like, "What is she doing?" But if you can't see and no one else waters your lawn, you got to get out there and just feel your way around to do it.
I mean, I hear you. I mean, I did it for a long period when I was fading into darkness, and being that guy around the house trying to help out, and my wife was taking care of the family and all that.
Right.
I was that guy. Like you said, we didn't have sprinklers. I was out there, man. I'd either water it by hand or I had, I was buying different sprinklers that I could just put on the end of the hose and move it around the
Right.
yard.
Move it around the yard.
You know, I was taking and how can I say this? So my neighbor had a gray block wall, right?
Okay.
So I would take the black floor mats out of my car and I would hang them on the wall at the start, right?
Right.
And I started the driveway, and now I had a bucket with another black floor mat. So I would set it in the driveway. So when I take off, I could see that black floor mat down there on that wall. I just start walking towards it, right?
Right. There
When
you
I get
go.
down there, I do me a U-turn to the right, and I move that black floor mat over, look down the other end of the way, I can see that mat on that bucket. And I'd walk back to that bucket,
Wow.
you
Well,
know.
see, for me, like the one that you put to the end of the hose, how I know that
Right.
it's in the right position, I'll walk down my driveway. And if I'm not getting wet, it's not in the right position. I need to pull it a little bit more that way it can get the grass on that end. So that's what
Okay.
I would do is I was situated to where I would stand. And if I can feel that water hit me, I've got it perfect.
I hear you. I hear you. You got to work out a system.
You
That's
got
what
to
it's
work
all
out a
about.
system.
You got to
So
work
so
out a
I get it
system.
with the car mats. I do.
So whatever works for you, and that's my whole point about a lot of this stuff. What works for me might not work for you. You know what I'm saying? But in having conversations with each other, you know what I'm saying? We see different
Yes.
perspectives and different ways, and maybe with something else you thinking about that you want to do, and well, maybe I might be able to apply that to this. You
That's
know,
true. That's true.
kind of stuff. So I mean, because what works for one person doesn't always work for the other one. But again, we all one group, we're one community, and we should be trying to do everything we can to make sure that each of us get what we need.
That's why I
So
love the conversations that we have, like you say, tonight, because I learned so much from the way that people do different things. And I'm like, I never tried it that way. Let me try that. Yeah.
I hear you. I hear you.
So we feed off of one another, and get full.
Right. I mean, it's a you never quit learning as well. I mean, especially with technology, because technology it is ever changing and so on and so forth. So, I mean, sure, Carol, back in what I've been doing this since. Well, like I said, I went to a training center at 11. I mean, learning this technology, I'm doing a lot more now. What 12 years later, 13 years later,
Right.
than
Right.
than I ever thought I would do.
Wow.
I know a lot more about technology than I ever thought I would. Man, I just because I realized for our community is especially with me not being able to read braille and stuff like that is just for me to
Right.
function and to function in today's world. I mean, cited or not, you need to know some technology. Most bills are being paid online and so on and so forth. Most everything we do is via internet.
That's
You
true.
know, that's why, these things people don't realize these, was it affordable connectivity, that stuff where people getting help with their internet and all that stuff is really important because internet is now important. It's now a utility. You making it something that we just got to have, just like electricity, water, gas,
That's
you
right.
know. Uh,
That's right. You have to have it.
and then the lower your income is, the harder it is for you to have that stuff. That's what folks don't
That's
want to
true.
recognize.
That is true. That is
That is
true.
so. But anyway, yeah, it's some. It's a crazy world we live in. So, anyway, let me play Britney stuff here, and then we're gonna get into this first article I got. All
Okay.
right. Well, wait a minute. What happened? I know you still here. You on? You in here still, Carol? Right?
I'm still here. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, my computer talking crazy to me. Here we go. Let's try this. Why is it still doing that? Okay. There we go. Try it now.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
All right. Well, I don't have any commercials right now. Our events have deadlines are done, so if your money ain't in, you might not be able to make it. All I can tell you is reach out to Cheryl C. Thurston74@gmail.com and talk to her. She's the one with makes the determination. So anyway, I'm just doing my job, trying to keep this stuff going. So anyway, there's some crazy stuff out here. Listen to this one. This is a new service. So the bridge that got hit by the container ship, right? Carol? Oh my goodness. Let me get back up here. I hope y'all can hear me. Lost Carol. Let me go over here. Okay.
Can
I
you hear
don't know
me?
how. I can now.
Okay. Some kind of way I
I
got
don't know
out
how
there.
you got removed from stage, but I got you back in now. I
Okay.
realized I was
Good.
sitting there talking to myself, but it's all good. So
No,
let
no, you
me
were okay. I heard
let
about
me
the container ship, and
yeah.
I think they just exploded the rest of the bridge or something today or
Right,
yesterday or
I know they were starting to work on it so they can try to get them repairs done. But this is
right.
another bridge that's not too far away from there. It's a 4-mile bridge, but if you don't take the bridge, it's like a 4-hour detour through one of them states up there. Again, you'll hear this. This is some crazy stuff right here, Kara.
Okay.
Let me see. There we go.
Nervous drivers pay to be whisked across America's scariest bridge. Heading business is booming for Stephen Eskew, whose team offer a chauffeur service over a 4.3-mile bridge in Maryland that reaches 186 feet above the water. The truckway station off Oceanic Drive on the western shore of Chesapeake Bay in Maryland is the last chance to pull over before the spectacular 4.3-mile bridge, often described as the scariest in America. This is where Stephen Eskew meets his clients. He and a small team run a unique service for motorists too nervous to cross the Governor William Preston Lane Jr. Memorial Bridge, an hour's drive east of Washington on the road to President Biden's home state of Delaware. They drive them in the client's own vehicles on the 4-minute bridge crossing, saving them from the only alternative, a 4-hour detour through Baltimore. There's the height of the bridge, the length, the fact that the bridge turns. One of the biggest fears that I call the Christopher Columbus fear is that when you are going over the bridge, whether it's east or west, you can't see over, so you feel like you're going off. SQ 53 says. SQ charges $40 in cash and business is booming, with 10 to 30 clients a day. On a sunny spring morning this week, we are here to meet Karen Shipley, 63, from Pennsylvania, to take her across the bridge. SQ loves the bridge, which he grew up near, crabbing and fishing in the bay. At its peak, the road is 186 feet above the calm gray-blue water. Going eastbound is 2 lanes, going westbound is 3 lanes. Some people can do one side, but not the other, he says. His phone started to go insane, he says, after a container ship collided with the shorter Francis Scott Key Bridge in the mouth of Baltimore Harbor, a few nautical miles to the north, in the early hours of March 26th. The bridge collapsed and 6 maintenance workers were killed. When the accident happened, a lot of our customers wanted reassurance about whether we thought something like that could happen here. SQ, owner of the Kent Island Express Service, says. Of course, we said no, it was a freak accident. Then we had random people calling us from all over the country asking about it. With his reassuring manner, SQ is the perfect chaperone, even if some of his customers can get a little edgy. Most sit in the front and enjoy the view. They just don't want to drive, he says. But we have people that sit in the back, that sit on the floor, that cover themselves with blankets. 6'4" guys will get down in the back seat and cover themselves up. But we do not put people in the trunk, that's a myth. 1 in 5 of his clients take up his offer of a customized eye mask, made by his wife, Christy, with the slogan, I hate this bridge. Men, women, black, white, Jewish, Muslim, the bridge does not discriminate, SQ says. We have 2 airline pilots that use the service. It's a control thing for them. They don't like being inside the framing of the bridge. I don't understand it. I just go with it. There was the woman who ended up burying her head in his lap, to the consternation of her 2 teenage daughters in the back, when a car cut in front of them. Another woman drew blood when she dug her nails into his arm in terror. Others have been in therapy for their fear of bridges or are themselves therapists. I've had 3 people who've been hypnotized to not fear the bridge. One of them saw something on the news about a car accident and it triggered her fear back, SQ says. We have 4 psychologists that use this service, 3 retired and 1 still practicing. Her colleagues ask why you have somebody do this for you, and she said, if I can pay somebody a few bucks to eliminate something that I am absolutely petrified and obsessing over, why would I not? We meet Shipley at the way station, next to her 36-foot motorhome. I'm afraid of heights, and it's such a long bridge, she says. If it was shorter, I'd probably try it, but I'm afraid of people acting like jerks and trying to pass me, and I don't want me freaking out and having a panic attack. If you look at the bridge, the shoulder is maybe a foot or so wide. And I know me, I'd end up taking a lane and a half. The whole thing is a recipe for stress. SQ expertly drives Shipley's huge vehicle over, followed by one of his assistants who drives him back. Back on dry land, Shipley, clearly relieved, gets back behind the wheel to continue her holiday. I shook her hand, SQ confides later. It was soaking with sweat. Now back to the coffee time crew.
Wow, wow, wow. People in their phones.
Wow. Right.
People in their phobias. I mean, that's crazy. But $40 a trip. I mean, that's $10 a mile. You know, and he's getting what, 10 to 30 rides a day?
A day. He cleaning up.
400 to 1,200 a day.
Yeah.
You know.
Just to go across the bridge.
Just to go across the bridge.
Oh,
But your alternative, like you say, a 4 hour detour through Baltimore.
no way.
So, I mean, what, 4 miles take you, what, a good 10, 15 minutes at the most?
Maybe,
you
if it's a
know,
straight shot, no lights, maybe 5 minutes. It's normally a minute a mile.
I mean, but some people are, I mean, they are, some folks are just scared of stuff like that. I mean, I get what they're saying. It's 4 miles, so it's a big suspension. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. It's a
It's
long way.
right. It's really, really tall because, they're trying to get them ships up underneath it as well, but, and then to top this one particular bridge off, is also has a curve in it.
Ooh,
So it's not particularly straight
right,
across.
right.
Okay.
And it's water below it.
And there's water below it. We got one here in San Pedro. What is that? The Vincent Thomas. It goes way up there. Literally, there's not even a pylon for the ships to run into.
What?
No, I mean
Oh, that's scary.
once it goes off the land, it goes straight. Like you say, so high up you can't see the edge up there, and
Oh,
then you just
wow.
come off the top, and then you come back down, and you're coming down onto what little piece of the harbor that I call Terminal Island. It's a little small island,
Right.
So, but
I guess
I
it's
so
kind of
I
like those suspended bridges, for the cars. Some of them are extremely high too, and you can't see down. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
But
and that's what the whole thing is. Suspension bridges, depending on the span, they may have to have some pillars in there, you
right.
know, spread out. Which was the case where the one that got hit, it was spread out. It's just the ship's navigation, something went wrong and it bumped into one of them. That's
Ooh.
for the one that just. And I didn't like the way they said it was six maintenance workers got killed. No, those were people in
Right.
their cars that got killed that fell
Right.
off that bridge. So
Fell off the bridge.
but but anyway, yeah, I mean, so but like I said, the one I'm talking about, Vincent Thomas, it don't have now coming off the other side of the island. Well, to come off of Terminal Island down in the harbor, there's three ways to come off. And another way to come off is actually a drawbridge.
Oh, okay.
So and that's for the channel, between the island and the mainland.
Right. Right.
So they got a bridge there. Like I said, one of them is uh, it's a it's a drawbridge. They stop you and they raise it up, let the ships go through it, and they lower it back down and let traffic carry on. You
Right.
know. Matter of fact, the one I'm talking about, the Vincent Thomas, there's a movie with Chris Tucker,
I know
where
which
he
one you're talking about.
where he jumped out. He jumped out. They threw him out of the helicopter right
Right.
by a bridge. That's the bridge.
Okay. That's the bridge. Gotcha.
That's the bridge. Yeah. So, but yeah. So, but again, it's people's phobias. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess I got phobias. I mean, I don't necessarily like snakes and all that other kind of stuff. I mean, it's, I don't get the heebie jeebies when I get around them, but I just ain't trying to touch them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
So, uh, uh,
I'm not a fan of
so,
rats, but I know some people who will not get on an escalator, will not get in an elevator. They just it's something about them, and they don't like. I don't know. To me, it's just a way to travel. I'm not gonna take stairs 13 flights up like I used to when I was younger. I'm getting on the
oh
elevator.
no, elevator, escalator.
Hmm
I'm
I
right along there with you, Carol. I ain't doing none of that either. I mean, but like, I mean, I had another buddy. I had a buddy back in the day, old Ray. Ray would not drive on the freeway,
I
point
know some
blank.
people like that too.
You
Yes.
know, it was amazing to me. I mean, he used to get us and man, come on, take my car up on the freeway, and blow it out for me. Because all he did was street
Wow.
driving. He wanted to give us, once a week, once a month. He wants somebody to go, because L.A. we could take a big old loop on the freeway.
Right.
So, but
And that was a good
I,
way to blow a vehicle out, get on that freeway and go.
you know, especially they built was amazing to us when they built it. We have a double decker freeway going through where the LA Coliseum area is.
Okay.
Uh, and the upper level is actually carpool.
Oh, wow.
So if you get up there with two, three more,
Like a HOV lane or something?
right. No, it's wide open.
Wow.
It's wide open and straight as it want to be. So, uh, but yeah, so we used to have a lot of fun with that. But again, these people and their phobias and stuff like that. So I mean, we all got them. So I mean, he's making money on that. That's what it is.
Right.
I mean, he's not the first one to do it, and probably won't be the last.
No. No. You
So
find something people want, and if you can make money off of it, do it.
I mean, I mean, I mean, it's amazing what people will pay people to do for them.
True. That's true.
There's an app I think that's really popular, like in New York. I think it's called like Online,
Okay.
and where you can actually pull up and have somebody come get in line for you, and then you pay them to stand in line while you go do other stuff.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
That's called a kid here. Stand right here and I'm gonna go shop and just move up. And when somebody else come and just stay here until I get back. Yeah.
I used to hate when my mama used to do that stuff.
Me too. I know about it.
I used to hate it when my mama used to do me that way. But
Mhm.
I mean, but again, just the fact that people will pay to have that stuff done. I mean,
Right.
they using that app for people to get in line, like when the new iPhones and stuff come out. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
Or
Stuff,
the new
all that kind
Jordan.
of stuff. Or a concert getting ready. They tickets are getting ready to go on sale. All that different kind of stuff.
Right.
So it's amazing how much people will spend on, I guess, what we want to call it, convenience.
Convenience. Yes.
So it's amazing to me, but I guess I've just never been to either. I just didn't have that much, what they call that, disposable income.
No, I don't have that either, Ed. It's some things I just won't pay for.
Right. So, but
I
yeah,
would
no, that's
love
a
to pay a couple of people to cross me some main streets, but I actually had that happen to me. It was a main street, and it's like my first time being alone doing my cane mobility thing, and it was a
right.
homeless guy, and he wanted to charge me $1 to help me cross the street.
Well, I mean, I don't know what to say about that. It's
I, I didn't pay him. I said, no, that's okay. I'll take my chances.
I mean, I got to these homeless, and needs help, but to
Right.
demand help to help,
To help.
what,
Right.
you got to be a blessing to get a blessing,
I agree.
So rather than demand your blessing up front, why don't you just be a blessing and then let me bless you the way I feel on the outside,
That's right.
you
That's
know?
right.
So I maybe that's just me, as
It's the
we say.
world. It's the world.
This is different. It's the world. It's the world we live in. So anyway, I'm gonna play Brittany's thing one more time, and I got another article. We're gonna talk about it as well.
Okay.
If you'd like to know more about Blind United, you can visit our website at blindunited.org. You can email us at info@blindunited.org. You can call us at 909-846-8825. You can follow us on Instagram at Blind United Interest Groups. You can follow us on X at Blind United 22. You can watch our YouTube channel, Blind United. You could join our Facebook group, Blind United Interest Groups, or you can follow our Facebook page, Blind United.
All right. So again, the deadlines are up for the other two things we got going on, and again, man, Blind United, we are all volunteers and stuff. So I'm sorry we don't have the newer stuff available for you to play, but the other stuff we got coming up. But by the time we get to the date those things happen, you'll be tired of listening to them as well. So, but we just try to do what we can out here for our community and stuff, trying to give people locally things that that they can go out and do and enjoy and have fun and hang out in person. I mean, this is cool virtually. Is definitely, helps out a lot. I mean, it allows us to connect. It's a bridge, as we say, closing gaps, building bridges, making a connection. So, but Zoom and technology, virtually, yeah, we're doing a lot of that, like Carol being there in Dallas and, me here in California. We got, yesterday we had Florida in the mix,
Yes.
another person from Texas. So,
El Paso, Texas.
within the interest groups, we got people from all over Michigan, Kentucky, Tennessee, Florida, like I said, Atlanta. You just everywhere right now. So Northern
Amazing.
California, Oregon, Washington, so Idaho. So the interest groups bring in a wide range of folks as well. So that's what that's about. But again, we are local here, so based here in the LA San Bernardino area. So we do in-person functions out on this end, and that's what we're advertising and stuff. So that's what we do. So, but anyway, Carrie, this one you're gonna find interesting. I think you guys had a little issue with this kind of thing last couple of years ago, or last year, I think it was. Remember when
Okay.
you guys had that electrical grid breakdown?
Oh, yes, definitely. We definitely did.
Okay, check this out.
The nation's power grid is overwhelmed. New rules aim to boost construction. A make or break moment as the U.S. electricity network buckles under soaring demand and extreme weather. Sweeping changes to the way long-distance power lines are planned and built were approved by federal regulators Monday as they try to revitalize an overwhelmed electricity grid that is ill-equipped to handle soaring demand. The reforms approved 2-1 by the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission, FERC, with its lone Republican dissenting, come as fraying transmission infrastructure is undermining the economy in some regions and leaving large swaths of the country experiencing routine power shortages. Called the power grid, this network of wires and transfer stations also is not keeping pace with growth in solar and wind power, experts say. Our grid is at a make-or-break moment, FERC Chair Willie Phillips said following the vote. It is being tested in ways we have never seen before. Phillips said new demand for power from surging data center electricity use, the onshoring of clean tech industrial manufacturing, and the transition away from fossil fuels is pushing the country's electricity system to the brink. At the same time, Phillips said, the construction of badly needed new transmission infrastructure that would shore up the power grid has slowed to a crawl, setting the stage for more blackouts and economically damaging energy shortages across the nation. The goal of the federal rule changes approved Monday is to encourage construction of new high-voltage lines that enable developers to bring more energy online quickly, particularly clean energy. The rules require states and utilities to collaborate on 20-year plans that consider demand forecasts and the most equitable ways to pay for the projects. While the vote signals federal government determination to break the logjam on electricity infrastructure investment, it also underscores how limited its tools are. Regulators still have minimal authority to push projects through when they get stymied by financial, environmental, and property rights disputes, which often stretch across state lines. Congress granted the Commission new power to greenlight permits for projects stalled at the state level, but it is limited. The Commission unanimously approved a measure Monday that allows it to exercise those new powers if projects stall in 10 national transmission corridors to be identified by the Energy Department. The department's draft plan for the corridors includes some 3,500 miles of power lines across the country. But tens of thousands of miles of new lines need to be built by 2035 to keep up with demand and meet climate goals, according to the Biden administration. The amount of new transmission lines installed in the United States has dropped sharply since 2013, when 4,000 miles were added. Now, the nation struggles to bring online even 1,000 new miles a year. A group of scientists led by Princeton University professor Jesse Jenkins warned in a report that by 2030 the United States risks losing out on 80% of the potential emission reductions from President Biden's signature climate law, the Inflation Reduction Act, if the pace of transmission construction does not pick up dramatically. Environmental and consumer advocacy organizations applauded FERC's actions. We urgently need every grid operator to determine where and what transmission lines to build, said a statement from Cullen Howe, a senior advocate at the Natural Resources Defense Council. The power system is changing, and this rule ensures the nation's power grid will advance with clarity and consistency, rather than a haphazard approach. Efforts to invest in the grid are repeatedly stymied by interstate disputes between lawmakers and regulators with clashing priorities. A push in one state to build out transmission networks for clean energy to help meet climate goals can be undermined by a state through which power lines for the project must run. As regulators there worry local ratepayers will unfairly get burdened with covering the bill. The new rules force regulators and utilities across state lines to align their long-term goals and draft infrastructure investment blueprints, rather than taking a Band-Aid, crisis-driven approach. Some state regulators and power company executives warn the new federal requirements are intrusive. They contend they are designed to promote clean energy at the expense of ratepayer pocketbooks. Their argument was embraced at Monday's hearing by FERC Commissioner Mark Christie, a Republican, who delivered a blistering critique of the reforms before voting against them. This rule is not fair to consumers, Christie said. This rule is a pretext to enact a sweeping policy agenda that Congress never passed. He accused the Democrats on the commission of rushing the process to inoculate the rule against repeal if their party loses the White House in the upcoming election. We all know why this is being rushed through, Christie said, alluding to the Congressional Review Act, which allows Congress to scrap new federal rules before they take effect. Evan Halper is a business reporter for The Washington Post, covering the energy transition. His work focuses on the tensions between energy demands and decarbonizing the economy. He came to the Post from the Los Angeles Times, where he spent 2 decades, most recently covering domestic policy and presidential politics from its Washington bureau. Now back to the Coffee Time crew.
Wow. I mean, I see where, to me, it's like what's needed, and I believe this is true in a lot of these states, and that's what they're fighting back for. I think the government is moving in a direction of trying to create a national power grid, and these states are they don't want to have it. They want to have their own, utilities commissions and all this other kind of stuff. They want to be able to control them rates and whatever. I mean, not trying to be funny or nothing, but like we were just talking about, down there where you at, the way Abbott and them did with the power grid down there, you know.
Right. Right.
Uh, we need something that's going to be sustainable for the country, not just, I mean, if we're going to be United States, right, then we got to,
Right.
on a federal level, it's about making sure that each state is secure in what it needs. I mean, yeah, I mean, I get, states having certain, independence, but at the same time, you're part of the United States. So, I mean, we all got to work together to make this happen. This is, it's same way I feel about Blind United, I guess. It takes all of us to make it happen. I mean,
Right.
quit the boo-boo, get the money out of the politics and, and all of this other kind of stuff. I mean, come on. We got areas, where we can do the solar, we can do the wind. We don't even have the, like say the transmission lines to really deliver the power that we could actually be doing.
Right.
We're and by giving them 20 years, I mean, come on, you're giving them 20 years in all that time that, forgot how they're going to pay for it. You know how they're going to pay for it. It's going to end up back on us.
Always. Always.
That's exactly how it's going to happen, But again, now, if you intentionally build, in my opinion, here we go. I mean, if you intentionally build a national power grid, then as taxpayers, let the government pay for it.
Right.
Let them invest in that. Let that be part of, our recovery, whatever it is, where infrastructure stuff. You send some of that infrastructure money over there to build that national power grid.
That's right.
Come on now.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
So, but again, politics and money and all this other kind of stuff. I mean, they better do what they need. They need to do something in a hurry. I mean, because electricity is, again, it's just a necessity. It's a utility. It's something that we pretty much got to have. I mean, even folks that's living off grid got generators and solar generators and all this other kind of stuff that they doing on their own. It's, how can I say that? We don't live in a world where you can just, I mean, I guess you could if you really stepped all that far off the grid, but most people got to have some sort of electricity.
You have to. Some form of it.
Some
Being
form
a
of,
recipient
some form of
one of
it.
those, some form of electricity, and being a recipient of someone who actually experienced the rollout here in Dallas, Texas. It's like to lose power when you're following the rules. Being blind, I don't require a lot of electricity compared to my neighbors. But the fact of the matter is you're already putting on commercials right now, to tell us to save. It's only 90 something. It was 90 something degrees last week. It's going to be 90 something degrees this week. And they're already telling us we need to start, looking at saving electricity. Summer is not even here yet. And that means
Right,
that they're warning us that they're going to be shutting power off. Now, mind you, they're
right,
only doing it in the poverty areas. My area, they're working class. We're working class in this area, but the Highland Park area where the big mansions and ritzy houses are, they don't get those power outages. They still had electricity, even though we didn't have electricity. And,
right.
so I believe they know exactly what they're doing. And a lot of people in this community, they're on oxygen. They need electricity to stay alive. So a lot of people
So
have to go
now,
to the fire department.
don't they have that program down there for for where they can't shut you put you in a rollout You know what I'm saying? They can't shut you off if you have medical devices.
No, no, you have to go
Is
to
that right?
the fire department, or there's certain recreation centers where the elderly were having to travel there to just plug up
Uh,
machines. Yes,
well, no. Well, I mean,
yes,
well, California, if you got medical devices, like that oxygen or whatever, then oxygen machines, I should say, then
right.
no, they don't do you that way. So, uh,
Oh,
but then they started this tier thing out here. So they want you to sign up for, their conservation thing where they come and put a switch on your AC. Okay. And when there's a drain on the grid, then they rotate your AC.
what?
Yeah, man. So they won't cut off your power, but they'll turn off your AC for a while.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
So like I said, it's either that or you get put on a tier program, which I've chosen to go that direction, and so I guess I'm every time they come knocking on my door, they tell me I'm tier two. So I'm at the next level of fees.
Right, of course. Because
So I
nothing's
mean,
free 99
nothing's
anymore. You have
free.
to pay for
You know,
it.
here's the crazy thing: it's called a public utility, but it's not owned by the public. It's privately owned. That's the
Oh,
crazy
wow.
thing about all of this. Well, I mean, even
Oh,
there,
wow.
most places it's called public utility. Here
Yes,
the commission is Public Utilities Commission.
right.
That regulates all that stuff in the state. So I mean, they're providing utilities to the public, but the public don't own it. I mean, come to
Wow.
find out, Edison is the big dog in the country.
Mm.
I mean, they own most of the power production within the country.
Oh, wow.
So in instances like what we got going on here, it's almost like they want to keep things as it is. They like having a state by state thing. They don't
Right.
want to, and and then again, you want us to pay for the main. I mean, you guys should have been doing maintenance rather than taking your profits and giving it to your shareholders. I mean, don't. I'm not saying don't give your shareholders any money, but bottom line, divide it up. A certain percentage goes into the business, a certain percentage goes to the shareholders. A certain percentage goes into
Agree.
investments for the future. But no, they want to put everything in their pocket and
They do. All those
wait till
bonuses once a year.
wait till everything break down, and then they oh well yeah okay. See, this is why we in the position
Shoulda,
we in
coulda,
now.
woulda. Right. That's right.
Yeah, that's why we in the position we in now. So, but anyway, again, I want to talk a little bit about Jimmy and You Can't Give. Of course, I'm still, for those listening in today, tomorrow, whenever you may check this video out or any video we put out there, that's why I want to do it in every video or whatever stream that we do. I always want to let people know about people out here that's doing something and trying to help the community. I mean, I'm doing my part with Blind United, me and my crew. Uh, uh, we're doing what we can do. We're spreading as much word about awareness and stuff as we can, trying to find a way to build bridges and close some of these gaps, right? So Jimmy has found a way to help folks in third world countries where I heard him say today. I listened to one of his videos today where he spoke up at the Golden Gate Bridge last year on White Cane Day. About how in some places a cane costs you a month's rent.
Mm.
You think about what you pay for, your mortgage or your rent here in America. Imagine paying that much for a cane.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, we can say, okay, it's third world country, so it ain't the same dollar amount, but no, but it's the same burden. You follow what I'm saying? I mean,
Yes.
I
Yes.
mean, it's the same
Yes.
burden,
Hmm.
So I mean, he does a lot to help doing that stuff, and we want to help him in every way we can. So again, go to youcangive.org. You can download, uh, uh, like I said, labels where you can send your canes, broken canes, whatever kind of cane you got. You want to just feeling, really, really generous. You want to buy a brand new cane and put it in an envelope and send it to them, or you got a cane that you bought yourself a new cane and you want to donate your old one, or you got a broken one sitting around, you want to donate that one, whatever the case may be. Or even if you want to just drop a couple dollars on him, so he can do what he does. Number one, he will fix a cane. That's not an issue. I've fixed a ton of canes for him. Uh, I can't tell you how many canes I've fixed. Just refurbish them. Put new cords and stuff in them and new tips and stuff. You know, I'll send them back there to him, and then him and his wife they get together and they'll rewrap them if they need to be rewrapped. With the white or the red, whatever the case may be. He gets donations for that kind of stuff, like the cord and the wrap, the vinyl that you wrap them with. He does. He does get donations for that kind of stuff. So, but again, it's a worthy cause. I mean, people, that's your independence. I mean,
Yes.
that's your dignity, and I mean, it's everything. Is just being able to, navigate the world. And
I
it's
couldn't imagine my life without my cane.
I mean, I say it all the time. I say it all the time. I mean, again, and when I met Jimmy, I met him through his business, Custom Cane, because I just didn't never really like. I always want to be different. I'm a different kind of guy, so I want to So you know what? Let me get a cane, and I found Jimmy, and I got me a different kind of cane, and now I got what 5 different canes. They all have their own theme, and so on and so forth. At some point, the whole thing switched over to You Can't Give. So that now the money that Custom Cane makes goes into You Can't Give. So I mean, now that in essence, it kind of motivates me to buy even more canes because I
Right.
know where the money's going. I know where the proceeds are going.
Right.
Stuff like
Right.
that. So I can live out my little fetish. You know what I'm saying? Some people like designer bags. I like designer canes. I design my own, and I,
Right.
you know, but I mean, but they're also like conversational starters. Like I said, my favorite one is my eyeball cane. It's just full of eyeballs. It's just all different kind of eyes. It shows all the various emotions of doing the mobility. Black eyes, red eyes, bloodshot eyes, crying eyes, you name it. It's got them on there. But at the same time, it's a conversational starter because what Blind United is trying to also create awareness. So when people, sighted folks out there, they see me, they might say, they notice the eyeballs and they'll comment on that, or they'll notice the fact that my cane is not white with a red tip and ask that question. Why is your cane
Right.
not white? Whatever it is to get that conversation started.
Right.
I'm down with it. I love to have that conversation. I like to create that awareness. I want people to understand how to interact with us. I want them to understand what we're trying to do. Well, how we're trying to live our best life. So Jimmy does that through giving canes away. He gives people that sense of independence and so on and so forth. Pride and dignity and all that good stuff. So I just want to continue doing whatever I can to help him. And part of that is number one, putting his name out there, putting his his foundation out there, and also making myself be part of what he's doing by saying also, if you want, you can send them canes to me. I'll make sure that they get fixed and sent to him to where they'll go where they need to go. So all the events that we do here locally, we always, say bring your canes. If you would please, we collect canes, everything we do, so on and so forth. So that's just one of one of my pets projects, I guess you call it. Just trying to support another person in the community and what they're trying to do. So, but
And
I
that's
appreciate him.
wonderful. Hmm.
I appreciate him as well. So, but anyway, I think we're getting a little close to the end of this thing, Carol. I sure appreciate it.
What? The time that flew by that quick?
Yeah, we got 5 minutes, so
Wow.
I really, 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 really do appreciate you coming in here and helping me get through this today.
So I appreciate you having me.
Oh
It's
no, no,
always
no!
fun.
You part of the family, sweetie. So I mean, and it
I
and
feel the love too.
I say this, and I'm being honest, Carol. Doing this part of it, I like being out here. I like trying to share information. I have like, having different, topics of discussion and so on and so forth. But at the same time, it's something that's really, really hard to do when you're the only one in here.
It,
It's
that's
just like
true.
I mean, and let me run down here before this is over because I even haven't even looked there, Carol. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing everything by myself today, so I don't even know if anybody has
You the man,
commented.
Ed. You the man.
So let me see what we got going on here. Uh, uh, okay, Monica. Good morning. When was that? What time? Okay, that was in the very beginning. So Monica was here in the very beginning.
All right, Monica.
That's it. Again, Monica, I'm sorry it took me so long to give you a shout out, sweetheart, but I appreciate you. I'm in there trying to do it all by myself today, but
Gotcha. You did a
we're
wonderful
making it.
job as well.
Well, I can't talk about George. As George was just rusty.
Oh, George. He's something
I, I'm
else.
just, I'm just, I'm not good at multitasking. I guess that's what it is. But we're gonna make it happen. That's for sure.
For sure.
I'm definitely committed to what we're trying to do here, and if I say we're gonna be here at 9 a.m. every morning, then if I'm in here by myself, that's what it's gonna be. So
Gotcha. Gotcha.
I stand to my commitment to this and what we're trying to do and the information we're trying to share and stuff like that. Even with the schedules, the 20 plus interest groups we do throughout the course of the month. I mean, I think it's very, very important that I'm there and I get that room opened up so that whether it's I or whoever the leader of that individual group may be, that room is open for them to do what they do, so they can pass on the information they come to share, stuff like that, and folks can, like I say, participate in what they're interested in. I'm not gonna say I'm interested in all of it because I'm sure not going to be doing no knitting and
You're
crocheting
not
and
gonna
all
do
that
arts
other.
and crafts?
Oh no, 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 no,
I
no,
actually jumped
no.
in it last week and listened to it, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
unique.
yeah, I mean, it's definitely unique. I mean, they do their thing. I mean, that's what
Right.
they like doing. They work on their projects. They go and do their shopping and get their, materials they need to do what they need to do, what they creating.
Making
So
earrings, making
uh,
wraps and quilts and things of that sort. So,
all kind of stuff, all kind of stuff.
yeah, yeah, I was amazed.
Whatever you may want to do, they got it for you.
It
Let me.
definitely is a variety. I jump in on just about all of them if I'm able.
Right, right. Well, I mean, you know what? I appreciate you as well, Cal, because you do. You know, you come in, and you participate in the various different groups. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, it's
You come
fun.
in,
I look
you
forward
know,
to it.
uh, uh, you know, ain't nobody still hasn't give me a suggestion for this Friday's movie either. So
Bringing down the house. I'm gonna send it to you. Bringing down the house with Steve Martin and Queen
I got that
Latifah.
one. I got that one. We showed that a
Okay.
little over a year
Uh,
ago.
oh, you already showed it. Okay.
Well, yeah, no, well, it's been a while since we showed it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But again, it's my whole point, Carol. This ain't about me. It's about y'all. You know, whatever
Gotcha.
everybody. Do you see the way I operate? What
I do.
does it
I do.
is this what y'all want to watch? Is everybody good with
Right.
this? You know,
Get a lot of feedback.
I mean, I want everybody to be comfortable. I want everybody, feel comfortable enough to speak up and say, well, yeah, okay, well, you know what, I really don't want this one, but I'll go with it if we can watch this one next week. Come
Right.
on. I mean, let's
Right.
keep it
That's
real.
right.
That's
And they
just
seemed
me,
to
though,
enjoy
Kerry.
Just Cause last week. They seemed to really enjoy it. So it was an old one that I really had liked watching when I could see, and interesting how the twist was at the end. So
Right, right. It had been a very, very long time since I seen it, but then again, I still I missed stuff in it this time.
right.
I know definitely what took me a minute to realize that I had seen this Just Cause was just because when I seen it, I had sight back then.
Right. Me too. Me
So
too.
doing it, in the audio thing, it is, okay, wait a minute, whoa, 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 like you say, when he grabbed her hand and put it down to his crotch or whatever the case may
Right.
be,
Right.
I didn't hear that in the audio description, but I bet you I seen it when I watched it back in the
Of
day.
course. Of course. Hmm.
So it is what it is. But anyway, again, Carol, thank you very much for dropping in, hanging out with me. Hope to see you
Thank you,
tomorrow
Ed.
as well.
Definitely.
It's been a blast, y'all. I enjoy coming in there talking with you guys. Hopefully you enjoy what we're trying to do here. If you don't, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Something. Don't just sit there and talk bad about me. Critique me. You know what I'm saying? I love a constructive criticism. So, but
Right.
anyway, join us again tonight at 6 p.m. I guess where we'll be doing what? Some more talking, right?
More talking.
So, all right, Carol, you have a lovely day, and I'll talk to
You
you
too.
later. Y'all
You
have
have
a
a
great
terrific
day
Tuesday
out
as
there.
well.
Bye bye.